So this is Dun Beag. Dun Beag, spelt B-E-A-G. Dun Beag. Now, they found some interesting things here. We're going back around 2,300 to 1,900 years ago. It's quite a long time ago, and it would have looked something like this. It doesn't look like much now, and when I looked around it, I wasn't impressed at all. It's just rocks. But now I've seen that picture, it's a lot more exciting. I didn't realise it were going to be quite tall. Lots of people working in it. Yeah, that's alright, and when they excavated this area, they found some really interesting things, including a gold ring, woohoo! Buckles, amulets, coins, all sorts of things. For you Gaelic viewers, if the Gaelic people out there would like me to read the sign for them in Gaelic, I'll happily do so. Thanaduin a measa. Tho galiach rocheshachene na alba. Ta ne taga cruzien cloche a dol e as guroshon. Very interesting stuff. Where are you two going? That was quite a scary moment, because that, although it isn't very steep, Julie just got vertigo. She suffers from vertigo, and she just looked really drunk coming down. It is a very serious thing, a serious condition, but honestly, if I'd have been at the bottom and taken pictures as she came down, you'd have laughed your head off. It were hilarious. Don't worry, we might get something yet. It's not over. Don't feel that you have to walk steadily, Julie, just because the camera's on. You do what you feel's best. If you want to have a vertigo thing going on, do it. There's nothing to be ashamed about. No, go on, just a little wobble. That'll do, that'll do. So here we are at Glen Shiel, where a massive battle took place, a very important one. Bear with me, it's quite a lot of information to try and remember, but I'll get it out in the best way I can. So the Spanish sent 6,000 people to the south coast of England. They sent 270 men to Scotland, to the coast near here in Scotland. The 270 men up here, their job was to help the Jacobite uprising, the Scottish fighting against the English, against Great Britain. And their job was send these 270 people, they can gather some troops, get people interested, get them on their side, and they can all march down south to London, and they'll join forces and take on the Great British Army. But then things started to go wrong. The first big problem is the 6,000 men, the hardcore part of the army, the Spanish army which was going to invade Great Britain down in London area, the ship got destroyed by really bad storms. So them 6,000 were wiped out. Bye-bye. They're out of the equation, which just left 270 poor Spanish guys stuck up in Scotland. And they decided, you know what, we might as well just carry on. Let's just carry on, get as many men together. We know we've got the Jacobites. They've got like 1,000 men. We'll get some more men, and we'll march down there and we'll sort them out. Don't worry, because the Jacobites have a lot of people who want rid of Great Britain. We don't like Great Britain. So not only did they lose the 6,000 Spanish people down south, things went from bad to worse. Because all the ammunition for the Jacobites was being stored in a castle, Isle Donnan Castle, which is the castle which I have mentioned in a previous video where we went, where the HMS Flamborough was, and the 3 battleships. The 3 battleships destroyed that castle and destroyed all the ammunition which the Spanish and Jacobites were needing to fight with back down in London, back down in England. So by now you've got the Jacobites, the Scottish, and the 270 Spanish men joined together. There's 1,000 of them. Well, there's about 1,150 of them. Well, in fact, there is 1,149 of them. I know. And they started marching down. And then they heard that there was a Great Britain force who knows that they're there and they're going to come and beat them up. They'd got to this point, this very, very point, and it's called where? Glen Shiel. So these 1,000 149 men secured this entire area ready for battle. They knew the English were coming from up in Inverness, which is that way. They knew the English were coming from Inverness, which is that way. So they were all ready here, waiting for them to come. This is the only way they could come, because you've got massive mountains at each side. We're in the bottom of a glen. They had to come down here, and they were ready. Unfortunately for them, Great Britain had some artillery they didn't have. They were like cannons, and they started bombarding them with cannons. I won't go into details about the battle, but what I will say is Bonnie Prince Charlie was there. What I will say is Bonnie Prince Charlie wasn't at that one. He was at one a few years later, about 30 years later. What I will say is Rob Roy was there. Yeah. Rob Roy was there. Great Britain kicked the butts of the Scottish and the Spanish. Okay, all the Scottish people ran away, which is unusual. You know, we've all seen Braveheart. They don't run away. They're actually quite hard and they'll fight to the end. On this occasion, they thought, you know what, Spanish, you're on your own. We're off. So they went home, just leaving about 273 Spanish sailors. Well, they are sailors, really, because they've sailed over. Fighting sailors. They left 273 of them who tried to run away, but eventually just got caught. They got thrown on a boat. The boat I've mentioned in a previous video, the HMS Flamborough, which is where I come from, and they're taken to Inverness, where eventually they would just say, you know what, you lost the fight, bye-bye, and they put them on a ship back to Spain. But a massive battle here, and 23 British people, Great Britain people, died here, and over 100 of the Jacobites and Spanish died here. It's quite sombre, really. You know, you tell these stories and it's exciting because it's an exciting battle. But when you actually think, a lot of people actually died here, and it's a bit sad, really, because they were just men like me and you, just like me and Martin, really. You can imagine. You know, I'm like a Great Britain guy. Martin, being Scottish, would have been a Jacobite. He's the one who'd have run back to his family. I'd have been victorious because they ran away, and we captured all the Spanish. That's the end of the story. Thank you. I suppose the whole story revolves around the HMS Flamborough being fantastic. It carried all the prisoners away. It bombed the place full of the ammunition which they needed. I'm from Flamborough. Yeah. Are you happy with the way I've told that story, Mr. Jacobite, Scottish man? Yeah. You see, he agrees. He agrees with me 100%. Great Britain are fantastic, and the Scottish ran away. Don't forget to keep donating, people. All the links are in the description. We're trying to raise money for Rays of Sunshine. We need £50,000. We're well on our way, but we need it to keep coming in. So please, diggingthecoast.com and click on donate. Thank you. Right, that is the end of my time here with Julie and Martin, and I'd just like to give them a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I really mean that. They've been so good to me. From day one, Martin fixed me a cigarette lighter so that I can use it for powering up my phone. He put a new one in for me. Got all my washing done. Everything. You know, I'd start itching from mosquitoes. Julie'd be there within 10 seconds with a bottle to put spray to put on to get rid of them. Anything I needed, they did for me. They fed me every night. It's been fantastic and shown me some great places. So I'll have fantastic memories from here. I hope I do see you two again one day. Maybe this time next year, because you know what I might be doing. But yeah, let's move on, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, where we're going camping and metal detecting in the harshest part of Great Britain for the next few weeks. See you tomorrow on Digging the Coast. Nearly forgot. 3, 6, 5.